Hello everyone and welcome back to History Repeats Itself. I'm Ellis, and in our last video, a special episode, we talked about how Carthage's lack of communication compares to our modern political climate. So if you haven't seen it yet, you can check it out right here. In today's video, we have a special surprise where viewers can predict what they think is going to happen next in the Punic Wars. So if you want to hear more about that, stay tuned to the end of the video. In the meantime, we are back to reporting live from Carthage, and things are not looking up for the Carthaginians. They have lost countless battles to Marcus Atilitus Regulus, the Roman consul, and the Carthaginian army is starting to crumble. Now, luckily for Carthage, Regulus's term is almost up. Unluckily for Carthage, Regulus wants total victory over them before he steps down. Yeah, this looks like the face of a guy who really wants to end the war and erect a statue of his head in the center of the Roman square. So, he implores Carthage to surrender incessantly. And he thinks this is going to work. He thinks, guys, I'm going to have total power and glory for myself. So Regulus is like, yeah, it's going to be great, guys. Trust me. All I'm going to do is just beg the Carthaginians to surrender, and it's going to be fine. Carthage is not having it. They're like, dude, you can't just tell us to surrender. No, we're going to hire a Spartan named Xanthippus to come and help us fix our military errors. See, the Carthaginian army is made up of foreign mercenaries from all different places, so they can't speak the same language, which makes it incredibly difficult for them to communicate. Their most lucrative weapon is war elephants, but they put the war elephants in the back of the army when they'd be so much more useful in the front, where they can actually ram into the Romans and destroy them. Meanwhile, while they're in the back, they're just ramming into their own Carthaginians and killing them. So Xanthippus gets there and he's like, guys, please move the war elephants. So they're like, okay. So they do, and miraculously, they start winning again. Regulus is shocked by now. He's like, I thought I could just call up Carthage and be like, guys, please surrender. But no, Regulus actually gets captured. So Xanthippus, despite everything that he did for Carthage, finally teaching them how to use war elephants, helping them start winning battles again, capturing the Roman general, Xanthippus gets exiled because the leadership is jealous of him and how successful he is. Meanwhile, Marcus Regulus, captured by the Carthaginians, is offered to go back to Rome unattended. Carthaginians captured Regulus, and they're like, yeah, dude, you can go back to Rome, it's okay. But you have to convince the Roman Senate to surrender. If you can't convince them, you gotta come back here so we can torture you. And Regulus is like, okay, sure. So most people in a situation would just leave, stay in Rome, hide in Rome for the rest of your life and evade capture. But Regulus was so much a man of his word that he couldn't bring himself to break a promise that he made to the enemy. So he goes back to Rome and he's like, Roman Senate, please, I need you to surrender so that I can live. And the Senate's like, yo, Regulus, just stay here. There's no one with you. You're basically free. Just stay here. And Regulus is like, no, guys, look, I made a promise. I know we're mortal enemy, and I wanted total victory for myself, but look, I can't break a promise no matter who I made it with. And the Senate's like, okay, fine, but we're not surrendering. So Marcus Regulus goes back to Carthage to be tortured to death when he could have just evaded capture the whole time. So after this, he becomes a symbol of Roman virtue for many years to come because of his loyalty, even though it was to the enemy. So that's a little bit ironic because we started out saying how he was, on a conquest for his own personal power and glory, but then he ended up becoming a symbol of Roman virtue. So yeah, things aren't really looking great for the Romans anymore. Their heroed consul is dead, and on a side note, they were just in the ocean one day when this storm hit, and they lost 254 of their ships, which is 80% of their fleet. So yeah, things are starting to break down in Rome a little bit right now. So you would expect Rome to kind of let up a little bit, maybe take a couple years, recalibrate, hire some new consuls, rebuild their ships. No. Rome takes 3 months to build an army of 220 new ships. 3 months. With no modern technology to build 220 new ships. They bring their ships out onto the ocean. They're ready. They're like, okay, look. Carthage captured and killed Regulus. Okay, fine. We're going to go and destroy them now. No matter what. So they go out to sea. They're like, guys, it's going to be great. Look at our new ships. There's another storm and they lose their fleet again. So at this point, the civilized person would probably just give up. They'd be like, look, our consul's dead. We thought we were going to win the war easily, and we didn't. We lost a fleet of ships. We lost another fleet of ships. No. They build a new fleet and take it to Lilybaeum, which, for those of you who watched the first episode, you'll know that Lilybaeum is a part of Sicily, which is the island that started this whole war. So, if you want to learn more about that, you can check it out right here. So, the Romans take their new ships to and start what they expect to be a quick, snappy siege, take the city, deliver the last blow to Carthage, and the war's over. But the Carthaginians actually put up a pretty good defense now, because they have a new general, Hamilcar Barca. So things are pretty much at a standstill here in Lilybaeum. Rome and Carthage are both fighting back, but there's no clear winner. So, we'll bring you more live updates once we have them. In the meantime, we're inviting you to predict what do you think is going to happen next in these Punic Wars. How long is the siege at Lilybaeum going to last? How long is the war going to last? And most importantly, who is going to win? You can drop your predictions down in the comments, and I will highlight the top one in the next live update, which will be coming very soon. Or you can also vote in the poll that is in my description and also on my page. So tell us what you think, and when the news breaks, you'll hear it here first on History Repeats Itself. Thank you for watching.